Hey, I hope you're having a good Halloween week. We only have 2 homeworks this week, and your homeworks have been shortened down to 5 questions. Therefore, you will have one homework video a week. Okay, looking at the homework that's October the 28th, due tomorrow, Tuesday. Looking at problem number 5 on the back, your last one. Max has $60 in his wallet. He spends 1/4 of it on lunch. He then uses 1/3 of the remaining amount on a movie ticket. When he got home, his parents gave him $10 to mow the lawn. How much money did Max have after mowing the yard? Okay, guys, that was a lot to read. So we're going to break it down one step at a time. Max has $60 in his wallet. Forget the math, okay? Think about the story and what's going on. Here you have a problem about Max and Max's money, okay? So keep in mind this is about Max and his money. So if we look at a story bar to help us visualize what's going on, Max has this wallet full of money. In his wallet, Max actually has $60. I'm going to put that on his top because that's the total of what I have. He has a total of $60. That's the whole bar. The whole bar. Now it says he spent 1/4 of it. What does 1/4 mean? 1/4 means one part. As I was saying, this means one part out of 4 equal parts. So what we want to do here is we want to take our whole thing and break it into 4 sections. 4 equal parts. So if I'm breaking it into 4 equal parts, that's the same thing as 60 divided by 4. Make sure you pause the video and set up your division and try to do it by yourself first. Be honest, pause it. If you're checking your work and you messed up, let me walk you through it. It's 60 divided by 4. 4 goes into 6 one time, that's 4. So 6 minus 4, I have 2 left over. Bring down the 0. So 4 goes into 20 5 times. That means that each section of the bar is worth $15. So 15 for that section, 15 for that section. Oh, wait a minute. What's half of 60? 30. 15 plus 15 is 30. This section's 15. This section's 15. Now what we had going in the story is that he actually spent. Spent means I'm going to subtract it. I'm going to take it off. So now Max doesn't have that in his wallet. This is all he has left right here. I have 3 sections left out of the 4. That is a total of $45. He then uses 1/3 of the remaining amount on a movie ticket. What we have remaining is already broken into thirds. If I can see, just focus on what he has remaining. It's already in third sections, 1 out of 3. So that means each section is worth 15, and it says he used 1/3 on a movie ticket. So now $15 is now gone on the movies. So that means all that's left is 2/3 of it. So 15 plus 15 is our $30. It's half of what he started with. Half of 60 is 30. But we're not done. It doesn't stop because then he turns around and his parents give him $10 for mowing the yard. If they give it to him, that's an addition. I'm adding to what he already has. Now I have 30 plus the 10 for mowing the yard. So 30 plus 10 is 40. So Max has a total of $40. You should have chosen answer A. Okay, moving on. For those that are ready, we're going to look at Tuesdays. Or pause the video and I'll see you again tomorrow. Okay, Tuesdays is fractions again. Okay, this is everything we've already covered, but it's still going to be on the STAAR test, guys. A recipe that is 1.5 dozen cookies requires 3/4 cups of sugar. Shanika wants to make 6 dozen cookies. How many cups of sugar will she need? Okay, well, this is a proportion that we're doing right now. It's talking about 1.5 dozen of cookies versus the cups of sugar. So I'm going to set up a proportion. So what I have so far is cookies and sugar. The cookies are in dozens, so I have 1.5 dozen. Another way to write that would be 1.5 or 1.50. So 1.5 cookies and 3/4 cups of sugar. So another way to write that is 0.75. Now it says Shanika wants to make 6 dozen cookies. So I don't want just 1.5. I want to make even more. I want to make 6 of them. It says how many cups of sugar will she need? Okay, so the first thing you want to do is look for your scale factor. How did I go from 1.5 to 6? What am I multiplying by to give me that? If that's too hard and it doesn't work, then try to see if you can reduce. If you can't reduce, then you want to cross multiply and divide. Here, these both end in a 5, so I know I can reduce it by 5. Or if I add a 0 to the end, I can break it down by, I can reduce. Okay, looking at this, I want to reduce. This is 1.5 and 0.75 or 75 hundredths. If this is 1 and 5/10 and this is 75 hundredths, they both end in a 5. So what I can do is I can reduce that by 5. So if I have 1.5 divided by 5 and 0.75 divided by 5. Okay, well, think the opposite. 5 times 3 is 15. So we get an answer of 0.3 on the top. And on the bottom, divided by 5, 5 goes into 7 one time. So let me set it up. Pause the video. Why not I solve it and you solve it, but pause the video so you can check your work on your own. So 75 hundredths divided by 5 is going to be 15 hundredths. Okay, so this now becomes 3 or 3/10, and this now becomes 15 hundredths. If I'm looking at my scale factor now that it's 3/10, 3 into 6 is twice. Now 3 times 2 is normally 6, but you have 1 decimal place there. That's 0.3. That is 3/10. So I don't want just times 2 or it's going to give me 0.6. I want to move it over 1 decimal place. So it's going to be like I'm multiplying by 20. If you do it to the top, do it to the bottom. So then I'm going to have 0.15 times 20. Make sure you're pausing the video and you solve it for yourself first. 0 I can ignore, so 2 times 5 is 10. That's 2 plus 1 is 3. Add your 0 back on. You have 1, 2 decimal places in the problem, 1, 2 in the answer. So the answer is going to be D, 3 cups. Guys, that's not the only way to do this. Let me erase this and let me show you another way. If that way's too hard to reduce, don't forget, last resort, you can cross multiply and then divide. and divide by what's left over. Sometimes you'll hear us call it the bat and the ball. So if you'll go ahead and pause it. Okay, when you multiply 75 hundredths times 6, we got 4 and 5 tenths. So now I'm going to take that 4 and 5 tenths and divide by the 1/5. 1 and 5 tenths. Don't forget, guys, you need to solve it whichever is easiest for you. Cross multiply and divide is a last resort because when you multiply, it makes numbers bigger. And then sometimes you're going to be dividing by a 2-digit number, which is kind of yucky. Okay, but there are 8 different ways. You didn't even have to set it up my way, but this is 2 of the ways you could have done this problem. Now, if you look on Wednesday, you have no homework Wednesday to explore testing. So please get your only 10 problems that you have to do into your teachers. Thank you and have a good week.